Hi YouTube, it's Misty. I am officially 4 days post-op, gastric bypass RNY. Wanted to come on and tell everybody about what happened and how my surgery went and how I'm feeling. So Friday I checked into the Kaiser Hospital in Sacramento at 1:30, so Friday the 5th, the day after the 4th of July. I got there at 1:30. They brought me back. I did my IVs, got into the gown, changed all of that kind of stuff, got into a pre-op hospital bed, and kind of sat and waited. They started the IV. I got IV fluids going. That was, like I said, about 1:30, and then I saw my surgeon a couple hours later. I guess there had been a couple people before me that morning, and theirs had ran a little bit over. So mine was delayed a little bit. I was originally supposed to be at 4. Mine actually didn't start until about 5:30 or so, maybe closer to 6. So the waiting was kind of rough. I just sat there waiting and obviously having all kinds of crazy thoughts of what might happen. But about 5:30 or so, my surgeon came over. He's like, "Okay, we're ready for you. Are you ready?" And I was as ready as I was gonna get. And so he came over, got me, wheeled me into the room. They were already giving me medicine to knock me out at that point. So I do remember going into the operating room though, and I remember there being lots of people in there. I remember my surgeon kind of like rubbing me on the arm saying, "You'll be okay, everything's okay. We're going to give you some more medicine. We're going to transfer you onto a different bed." So I remember them kind of transferring me over to the actual operating bed, and then I really from there just remember looking up and seeing a huge light over me and then TVs surrounding me, and that's pretty much the last thing I remember. After that, it felt like maybe a couple minutes to me had passed, and then I was waking up in the post-op room with a nurse beside me, a male nurse beside me. Um, Not gonna lie, that was the worst part of the entire experience. Waking up with the pain that was there was really rough. It just feels like you would imagine like your insides were cut up. I asked for more painkillers. I kept trying to turn on my side. The nurse kept wanting me to be on my back, which I really just hate. I'm kind of claustrophobic, and so I hate laying on my back. I kept trying to turn on my side. They kept trying to push me back. Finally, they just, saw that I wasn't having that, and they let me stay on my side. So I got more pain medicine. I got to stay on my side. Everything was good. After that, I, pretty much needed pain medicine every 2 hours after that. The pain was, kind of strong the first evening. Later on, after I got to my own room, a couple hours after that, I had my own room, which was great. Once I got to my own room, they were doing liquid morphine through my IV tube. I felt like that just wasn't working enough for me, so I asked for something different. They did switch. They called the doctor on duty, and they switched my IV medicine from liquid morphine to Dilaudid, I think it was, and that was way better. As soon as I got the pain medication there, after that, it took the pain away and pretty much made me sleep, so I was feeling much, much better. Again, like I said, I had my surgery about 6 o'clock Friday. I was released Saturday at 3 in the afternoon, so it wasn't even 24 hours later. I walked nonstop in the hospital. I was really worried about, circulation and all of that, because previous to this, I have a lot of problems with my feet swelling. So I made sure that the leg pump thing stayed on me all night long. As soon as I got up to walk and I laid back down, I made sure those got put right back on. Just because, like I said, I was concerned with circulation. but I walked nonstop. I walked that night, pretty much just a few, like an hour or two after my surgery. I walked all through the evening. When I couldn't sleep, or sometimes it just doesn't feel good to lay down, it felt better to stand, and I was walking a lot. The next morning, I walked a lot. And then about 11 o'clock the next morning, they were letting me take some liquid, which was amazing. You're totally dry, but thank you to everyone who suggested the mouthwash and the chapstick, because that was definitely wonderful to have. So I got liquid. That went down fine. I was sipping capfuls of liquid. No problems with that. Even chicken broth they brought, sugar-free Jello. No problems with any of that. So after that, I was released from the hospital, and then I came home, and it's been okay since then. The pain's been pretty, moderate. I feel very lucky to not have had, any real problems with pain whatsoever. I, have a lot of pressure at the one incision site, which I'll show you guys. It's the one that I guess there were stitches in the muscle. The other ones don't really have stitches in the muscle. They're very small. When I lifted up my top the first night, I was shocked to see what I saw after seeing so many videos on YouTube where people had really large covering and patches on their incisions, and seeing their incisions. I was shocked to see when I lifted my shirt that my band-aids were the little small round band-aids like you would put on a really tiny thing, just like the really small little round ones. All of the 4 had those little round ones, and then the one that had the stitch in the muscle just had a normal size regular band-aid like you would put on anything. So 5 band-aids in total, 1 regular band-aid and 4 small round band-aids. So I was really shocked to see that that's all I had on me. They told me I could take that off the next day right after surgery. Those could come off, which I did. They said get in the shower, no problem. So I got in the shower with those off. They're healing really great. The first 3 days I was on clear liquid only. So again, water, just trying to get in as much water as I could. I'm not a huge fan of water, so I did a lot of Crystal Light. Chicken broth I really liked. I did a little bit of the sugar-free Jello, but I'm not like a huge Jello fan. And then today on post-op day 4 is my first day of full liquid. So this morning I did a protein shake. I've been using the IsoPure protein powder. So 1 scoop of that is 25 grams of protein, and what I really like about it is no sugar, no carbs. It's an isolate powder, but the best part is that you put it into just 4 ounces of water or milk. So when it goes into your blender bottle, it's just a really tiny amount of water. I used water, or you can use milk. I like almond milk. I did one with half almond milk, half water. But it's only 4 ounces for 25 grams of protein, and you seem to be able to get that down pretty easy. So I did that this morning. I did another one this afternoon. So I've already gotten in 50 grams of protein today. I did maybe like a quarter of a Greek yogurt in between that. So that was a little bit of protein there. I'm going to try to do some soup again later. But I'm just really trying to keep track of protein and ounces of liquid at this point. So, anyways, I feel really grateful to have had the surgeon that I had. I had Dr. Yanamula. I really grilled and interviewed him before this, making sure that he, was who I wanted to do this operation on me. He's done well over 2,000 of these operations, which qualifies him as a surgeon of excellence from what I've read online. He's the director of the bariatric program for Kaiser in Sacramento. So again, I just feel so blessed to have had him. He was totally amazing. All of my nurses pretty much at Kaiser were all great. I felt like I got really great, care there. So I just feel blessed to have not had like a ton of problems. I was really, expecting the worst, and came home and the pain hasn't been horrible yet, and you know, I'm just taking it day by day, and I feel like hopefully, you know, the best is yet to come. So I'm going to show everybody kind of like a body shot and my incisions, just so you guys can see what they could also look like. It doesn't always have to be scary. I had no drain. I asked my surgeon about that before. He said not everybody requires a drain. He said, I just like to see when I get in there if you need one or not. He said for me that he definitely felt like I did not need one. My actual surgery was 50 minutes, he told my family, so I was only under for about 50 minutes, less than an hour, which is amazing to me, because I've heard of people's taking much longer, so I feel really grateful for that. So anyways, I'm going to show you guys my body shot and my incisions, and then I will definitely do my 1 week post-op. I've already lost several pounds, but I'll share all of that with you at my 1 week post-op, okay? Here we go. So kind of a body shot, you can see from the side. Okay, and then I'm going to show you my incisions. This is 1. You can see how tiny. 2, 3, 4, and this one's the only one that had a little bit of bruising on it. And then this one is 5, and if you see from the side, you can see it's kind of indented a little bit. That is where it's stitched in under the muscle. The muscle is actually stitched, and that's the only one that really hurts at all, is that one right there. So it's already, it was indented much more, but it's already came out quite a bit since then. But I feel really lucky that these are all quite so small, and shouldn't really leave much of a scar. So again, I'll keep everybody updated. I've loved watching all your videos, and I feel blessed to have had those to go to prepare me, because I felt like every step of the way I knew what was going to happen and what had went on with me. So again, thank you guys. Thank you, YouTube. Talk to you soon.